Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Member for the question. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'd just like to begin by stating the definition of block rezoning in the context of town planning. The concept basically involves applying a continuous zoning along a strip of land that commonly fronts onto a thoroughfare or a side road, and the prerequisite being that there are activities of the same nature already being undertaken within that particular area. This particular block rezoning initiative is a strategy that was introduced by the Fiji First Government to reform the outdated and bureaucratic steps associated with the town planning scheme amendment process. The ultimate objective, Honourable Speaker, is to provide Fijians with a more streamlined and flexible approach when it comes to yielding the highest and best use of their property. The amendments to the Town Planning Act now empowers the Permanent Secretary responsible for town planning to immediately approve block rezoning of identified areas within the town boundary, and these include areas that have already gone significant changes in development pattern and trends indicating significant growth for commercial development in particular. And the areas that have been identified have been done in consultation with the Director of Town and Country Planning and the relevant municipal councils, and after a thorough analysis on the rezoning patterns that was actually conducted by the Ministry. The purpose of the block rezoning is to enable property owners within these areas to immediately lodge their building plans and commence their commercial development. So previously, individual property owners were required to lodge an application for rezoning to the municipal council and be subjected to the detailed scheme amendment process, with a very archaic way of doing it with the Ministry before they could lodge their building application and commencement with their respective developments. This, Honourable Speaker, will no longer be required. These are benefits associated with the block rezoning initiative for property owners, such as being located in a predominantly commercialized area, which in turn increases their property values and enables them to ultimately fetch a higher selling price for their properties if they wish to sell. Obviously, those who intend to operate commercial businesses will be vying to purchase these properties with an added advantage of not having to convert the use of those properties to commercial, as this is done already through this particular exercise, saving considerable time and resources. Property owners, Honourable Speaker, within these block rezoning areas now have greater flexibility with respect to their particular properties. However, property owners who wish to maintain their lots as residential can do so without any changes to their towns or city rates, and that change in town rates from residential to commercial will only be applied once the commercial activity is formalized through a building approval. The municipal councils also will be monitoring this in accordance with the respective laws and bylaws that are already in place pertaining to rates. And in terms of the change that you may be required to get required with respect to the Ministry of Lands or Itoke Lands Trust Board, we will be doing this in consultation with the Ministry of Lands and ITLTB. I'm pleased to inform the House that the Ministry, through the Permanent Secretary's Office, has actually approved block rezoning areas for commercial purposes with conditions in the following 11 municipal boundaries: the City of Suva, Nasinu Town, Nosori Town, Singatoka Town, Nandi Town, City of Lotoka, Ba Town, Tavua Town, Rekiriki Town, Lambasa Town, and Savsava Town, sir. In the interest of time, I won't go out and read out all the specific areas, sir, which have been block rezoned, but however, in particulars in relation to the legal description of these lots and areas these block rezonings apply to can be viewed by the public at the Ministry of Commerce, Trade, Tourism and Transport Level 3 Civic Tower. General public can also view the same on the Ministry website at www.mctt and learn more. 2,744 lots are part of the block rezoning around the country. So Nandi Town has recorded the most number of properties block rezoned, standing at about 891, followed by Suva, which is 664 lots block rezoned. So that's a substantial increase in the value of people's properties just by getting that done. In a bid also to promote commercial activities in the towns of Rekireki and Tavua, we've rezoned 426 lots and 125 lots respectively just for commercial purposes. And whilst in the northern towns of Savsavu and Lambasa, and 105 and 48 lots have been block rezoned respectively. Through this reform, Honourable Speaker, we have also ensured that we form from a planning perspective, the strategic planning documents such as outdated town planning schemes are all updated And by doing this, we're not only increasing efficiency, but working actually smart. The Ministry, through the Office of the Permanent Secretary responsible for town planning, will continue to assess these areas, Honourable Speaker, sir, with respect to block rezoning, to change their use in an effort to not only save time and save money. Through the program, Ministry is committed to creating more opportunities also for investment and actually construction in Fiji, now and also for the future. I thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir.
I thank the Honourable Minister for reply to that question.